Oh shit. I don't know if I get this. Okay, you go for the door. I have a plan. Oh? I hope it worked. I don't know if it did.
If you're sad, let this stay behind to appreciate the aurora in your place.
Is that snowman supposed
I see
to be
it
me?
on YouTube, but I don't know if it worked.
Are you going to stay in Snowcrest for a while longer?
I guess we'll find out, chat.
Well, I'll leave this with you then.
Alright. We ready? I accidentally minimized caffeinated again. Shit. There we go. Everybody's still there. We good? Sorry, I was trying to get it to work on YouTube. I don't know if I did. Let's see. Before my iPad dies, preferably. Oh, I think it did. Yay! Okay. I know that TikTok chat shows up in this overlay. I'm worried that YouTube won't, so... hopefully we're good. Everybody ready, chat? I'm splitting this probably into 2 parts. The Black Sea is about to devour the world. Humanity's last ark, the city of Ramiro, is perched on a solitary island. There shall be a lunar eclipse, and at the end of the 3rd night, Ramiro will be annihilated as it sinks below the ocean's waves. The tome of the sea god, which has foretold all worldly changes, announced the day in the world... Wow, words. Announced the day in which humanity will be submerged during the 1st night.
The sea god has abandoned us. He has abandoned everyone.
Yeah! The sea god is the one who will make the ocean devour Ramiro. He wants to destroy us.
He abandoned us.
Oh, we're gonna die.
Yeah, that's right.
At the edge of the harbor, which has suffered years of erosion because of the sea winds, desperate people push the sea god statues they carved with their own hands into the abyssal waters. Temples have been abandoned, their altars smashed. Precious collections of books and scrolls are not but ashes and smoke. Over the century, the people's faith in the sea god and everything that's associated with him were swallowed by the rising tides. It was only a matter of time before they were abandoned and forgotten. The bride of the sea god suffered this fate as well. No.
The 2nd night is already here. It won't be long until Ramiro is submerged. It will be just as the prophecy says. The citizenry is mired in unrest. Should this continue, chaos will inevitably unfold. My lord, we must find a way to soothe them.
Huh. It's only an eclipse. There's nothing to worry about. In fact, gather all the citizens and tell them. The tome of the sea god has revealed a new prophecy.
Hello,
We must hold
Jory.
the Xavier ritual and have
How
the
are you?
bride of the sea god make an announcement. Did you hear that? Bride of the sea god.
The guards grab my arms and throw me to the ground. I stare at the intricate patterns that dot the hem of the Calistin's robes. The situation is ironic, and it leaves a bitter taste in my mouth. In the past, he was Ramiro's minister, whose loyalty to the city was unmatched. Yet he's now a cruel individual after the prophecy appeared in the Tome of the Sea God. Didn't you say that the Tome of the Sea God spreads lies? Words. Sorry, chat. Didn't you say that the Tome of the Sea God spreads lies and leads people astray? Not only is it untrustworthy, but you sealed it away in a temple.
These matters are of no concern to you.
You don't think I ever noticed you? Well, I noticed you now. For the longest time, I didn't have, like, a chat that was, like, working with all the platforms.
Romero shall be reborn under the current Castellan. You will make that stone tablet reveal something, and then recite those words.
Everything is at stake here, but you're still obsessed with your power as the Castellan. How pathetic.
Foolish lass. Do you think you still be alive if someone else could converse with the Tome of the Sea God? Play your part. You know very well what will become of you if you don't.
After hearing the heavy lock behind the door, I'm once again left alone in the tower. Suddenly, words. Well, thank you. Thank you, Jory. Okay, there we go. After hearing the heavy lock behind the door, I'm once again left alone in the tower. Suddenly, a gentle breeze sweeps in. The blood on my face is wiped away. Rafayel, I'm guessing. That sounded like his laugh.
You're the bride of the sea god. Why are you letting humans mistreat you?
When did he appear? That title is nothing more than a pair of shackles. Why can't you be the groom of Kiori instead? I don't remember when it started. At first, I thought the voice was a hallucination from my lengthy imprisonment. But time passed, and the seagulls brought me seashells with strange patterns. That's when I became certain of his existence. He claimed to be the sea god, but his voice was too youthful, too mysterious. I couldn't trust him. However, I found myself involuntarily anticipating his appearances. If anything, it'd make my time here a little more bearable. And like a person who was fascinated while watching a goldfish in a bowl, he approached me, he tested me, tempted my heart to yearn for freedom as it sat in a pit of despair.
Don't you want to escape? Tonight is your only chance. When the eclipse hangs high and the tides flow back, you only need to remember two things.
What things? What are you talking about? The sea's breeze flips through the tattered pages on the table. It stops, and there I see a page covered in mysterious, intricate symbols.
The sea god's Summoneo staff, the sea's Ritualis hymn.
Now I stream everywhere. I stream on Twitch, I stream on Kick, I stream on TikTok, and for Loveanddeepspace, I usually stream on YouTube. That's why I started up the YouTube stream, because we are doing Loveanddeepspace things.
When the time comes, I will answer your call.
The last traces of his voice are buried by the horn. I look outside to see an anxious crowd gathering under the dilapidated tower. What do you mean? What do you want me to do? Are you still there? Silence falls over the tower. I squeeze my eyes shut and force myself to stay calm. His proposal is too sudden. It could be a trap as well, and I'd be foolish not to question it. Even if it is a trap, doesn't matter. Is there anything more hopeless than being imprisoned here forever? I might as well take this gamble. I want to go with the sea.
Rejoice, everyone!
I want to go with the water. You've been doing YouTube for 7 years. Nice. I've been streaming for 6 years. Atop the tower, Hawken raises the orb that symbolizes Ramiro. His gaze sweeps over the port's towering embankments and the ships with their black sails.
Do not fear this lunar eclipse. It heralds a new hope, a new future for Ramiro. We will not crumble under the waves. We've cast aside the sea god and left behind our hollow faith. Now, our centuries of sacrifice have changed the ancient prophecy. You will see the truth with your own eyes.
The sea of people are like ants. They're restless. A guard shoves me and I stumble to the edge of the tower. In that instant, the gazes below me, filled with disgust, fear, and anxiety, and cold indifference, pierce me like arrows. My lord, the power within the tome of the sea god has faded. I need to use the sea god Samino? I probably said that wrong, chat. Staff to make the prophecy's words manifest again.
The Xavier ritual doesn't require a sacred staff. Do not lie to me.
Tonight is the lunar eclipse. Without the Samaro staff to protect us, should any signs resembling calamities appear. I deliberately lower my voice. At that moment, lightning tears through the clouds. The sea turns and massive waves crash onto the shore. A moment passes. The sea god's Samino staff, its old age apparent, is given to me. According to him, I need to sing the hymn. I brush away the dust from the staff and raise it towards the tome of the sea god. Our silent universe awakens in the faint light where dusk and dawn meet and merge. The young and the pure sea god descends upon the first wave surge. The ancient lyrics flow from my mouth as the staff slowly traces a totem-like pattern in the air. Suddenly, a mysterious singing drifts through the biting sea wind. With my voice, it echoes from afar. I love that! Give me more! He's here. You guys didn't hear him singing? It was Rafayel singing. Good, he didn't lie to me. A slight feeling of relief washes over me as I face the wind and sing even louder. He who commands the cycles of the sun, the moon, and the tides. He who guides the souls to rest in distant realms.
She's singing the sea's ritualis hymn. That forbidden song. Guards, seize her!
The guards lunge at me, but the staff emits a dazzling blue light that repels everyone. The sea god wields fire in the darkness. He is the blazing sun who ignites the lost night. Thunder crashes down upon the sea and enormous waves manifest. Heavy rainfall descends as the storm engulfs all of Ramiro. Terror and chaos erupt around me. I clutch the staff tightly and continue to sing until a beam of light appears. It points to something under the towering waves. I brace myself before I leap into the ocean. We're in the sea! He said he would greet me, but this is a little too violent for my liking. Black seawater twists into a massive vortex and carries me away. Disoriented, I stop swimming and let my body sink deeper into the ocean's depths. I lose track of time before a magnificent yet ruined structure gradually appears.
You're here at last.
A voice as cold as frigid seawater drifts towards me. Ghostly light sweeps across the crumbling ruins. Like moonlight, it's reflected in my eyes. Before me is a slowly swaying fishtail. It's so magnificent that everything I have ever considered beautiful in my life suddenly feels plain and unremarkable. A human body with the tail of a fish and the power to control the ocean. Are you the sea god?
My identity is of little importance.
Several heavy chains are wrapped around his body. Powerful runes, barely visible, keep him immobilized.
I've saved your life. Now then, release the seals that bind me.
Why would the sea god be imprisoned in a place like this? Ah!
I could be lying. I can help you. But I can also let you drown in these abyssal waters to keep me company.
If I die, then no one else will save you.
I see you're unaware of what you've awakened.
The legends say the sea god bears a special mark. I can't read it, chat. Oh, we get to observe him? I know where your special mark is, though.
Do you think the mark can be seen by just anyone?
These seals on your body are incredibly powerful.
Your power alone is no match for these. Its scale is as cold as the lonely moon. At dawn, it shall pierce your heart. The sea's ritualis hymn you sang, that is the answer.
Chat, he's beautiful. Help. Somebody help. Sedate me. Are you afraid I'll take your scales and disappear?
You shall find no hiding place wherever the sea flows.
Not Rafa being stabbed too. What am I doing wrong? There we go. This power feels familiar.
This is the mark you've been searching for. But it was also a seal in another form.
Break those binds, baby girl.
The voice of the storm. Come to me. Again.
You're free, Rafa.
Call out to me from the fathomless depths of the sea. Bestow the inextinguishable flame of vengeance. The sea god's revival has been completed. You've rewritten the fate of these waters. Starting from this moment, you are bound to me. You cannot turn back.
Okay. I'm okay with that. Where are we going? Oh my goodness. He's so pretty. How many chapters are there? Is it 9? Yeah. The storm's roar filters through the seawater and resonates as whales' distant songs. My body feels impossibly heavy, yet scenes from my dreams gradually come into focus.
The tome of the sea god cannot be wrong. She is the sea god's bride and our only hope. We need her if Ramiro is to survive. She will be Ramiro's future castellan, protect the land in the sea god's stead, and change the prophecy.
There's still over half a year until your coming-of-age ceremony. Yet the gifts are already piling up. We've run out of space to store them. Everyone truly admires you from the bottom of their hearts, my lady.
She's the sea god's bride and was raised by the Castellan. Her knowledge and abilities are exceptional. She is kind and approachable. A wonderful person deserves all the best things in life.
Sounded like Simone.
Look at what our foolish devotion to the sea god brought. Death, disaster, and the prophecy that Ramiro shall be submerged more quickly. The sea god will never save Ramiro.
The bride of the sea god is nothing but a farce! She and the sea god will destroy Ramiro!
They lied!
Run, my lady! Don't let them catch you!
Can you hear them? Everyone is asking for you to die. And yet, you're the only one who can communicate with the tome of the sea god. I won't let you suffer a miserable death. I'll spare you so long as you obey me. How does that sound?
I open my eyes. Brilliant white lightning dispels my chaotic nightmare and illuminates the scene before me. Rainwater flows through the window frames. It makes the carvings and murals gradually reveal the lifelike faces of the gods.
Are you awake?
Sea god looks at me, his beautiful tail having transformed into human legs at an unknown point in time. He can walk on land?
I have prepared a gift for you.
He lifts me up and directs my gaze to the steps below. Hawkern, his most trusted minister, the tower's guard captain. Those who had bullied and abused me are now on the ground. Bound, they crawl and struggle, their eyes filled with fear and despair.
Their lives are in your hands. Would you like to deal with them one by one?
His hand covers the back of mine. He guides me to raise my hand and lightning gathers in my palm.
Ah!
Debris scatters and castellan crowns clatter to the ground. The puddles on floor bloom crimson.
Or would you rather finish them all at once?
My palm is quickly held again. Out of nowhere, raging waves rise in the center of the temple and engulf everyone. Watching them struggle as they suffocate, I feel a sense of satisfaction. However, an indescribable emotion wells up. The sea god already has a terrible reputation. Won't this make the people hate you more?
Lower your hand, then.
I pause before I hold his hand even tighter. I hear him chuckle as the illusory waves shimmer with the rippling light. They reflect a cold emptiness in his eyes.
The faith of humans is nothing more than self-interest. They worship when they need something, and curse when they don't get what they want. Why should I care about reputations?
As if he had his fill watching their death throes? Death throes? I think that's the word, chat. He releases my hand. The water vanishes.
They claimed I've abandoned this world. Very well. I'll let them be a witness to true annihilation. This is only the beginning. Don't you dare become merciful too swiftly.
You're overthinking it. I would never. The dying Castellan struggles to prop himself up. His gaze burns with fury that could shoot flames.
You, if it weren't for me, you would have been executed. How dare you repay my kindness with betrayal?
So the lamb pinned for slaughter is obligated to thank the butcher? You're insane. I pick up the sword from the ground and hurl it at him. The blade stabs the shoulder blade. MC?
Ah! Don't forget, your life is still in my hands. If I die, you will be cursed to perish in agony.
Then we'll die together. Does it look like I'm scared? A swift death is better than living like as a caged bird forever.
A curse.
The sea god lifts my chin and strokes my cheek. Tentacle-like, bluish-green runes slowly appear.
You're referring to these crude patterns?
He curls his fingertips. His movements are gentle, yet the runes are being torn away from my cheeks. It hurts.
Stay still. Indeed, it's an ancient curse, but it's far too weak to control my bride. Close your eyes.
I hear an eerie sound as something is destroyed with the pain.
What a terrible attempt of a trick.
When I open my eyes again, wisps of murky mist still linger in the air. Nearby, the castellan is suspended in midair. A water tendril tightens around his throat.
These magics can't be wielded by humans. Tell me where you found it.
What right do you have to judge me?
I won't tell you anything. You don't need to worry about asking again either.
Aren't you a god? Why are you destroying everything? The Muria, Whalefall City. Now you want to destroy this island!
Lemuria? Didn't the legends say the sea god lived there? In the sky, golden light freezes. Dark-colored waves surge. When the waters recede, the castellan... I missed it. Where have you taken them?
They're in a more appropriate place.
Why didn't you just kill Hawkern? A blood-stained crown riles in his
You were
hand.
imprisoned in his cage. How many years?
It's been a long time, I don't remember.
If the hatred from that time could be offset by him dying instantly, I would happily grant your wish at this very moment.
You wouldn't offer me a gift without reason. What is it that you want? Tell me.
You are my bride, aren't you?
He touches the pearls in my hair before he lowers his gaze.
Removing unsavory elements from my bride's life is my duty.
As I debate whether I should confront him or try to extract information more subtly, a thunderous crash resounds outside the window. The storm has destroyed a distant embankment. Seawater rushes in like a roaring beast as it flows directly into the city. What is happening? This is only the second night. Ramiro shouldn't be sinking now. The tome of the sea god has been returned to the temple. I run there and I'm shocked at the words of the prophecy are emitting a faint glow.
This future was predetermined long ago. Whether it's the second or third night makes little difference. You knew this day would come. Why are you surprised?
This place is my sanctuary. It's still my sanctuary. Regardless of what happens, I can't stand by and watch it be destroyed. Legends say the sea god is all-powerful. He can overturn oceans and move mountains, so can you?
The fate of this world is predetermined, and legends are just legends. In any case, it hasn't been long since I was awakened. My powers haven't fully returned yet. Why should I risk my own life for a city that despises me? Mind you, I would have to defy a prophecy in the tome of the sea god.
What if you regained your powers?
Give me your hand.
A cold glint flashes as he cuts both of our palms. He intertwines his fingers with mine and our blood mixes. It drips onto the tome of the sea god. Golden light rises from the tome of the sea god like threads of silk. They unfurl in midair and weave together to form poetic words. The Murians who seeketh absolute power combat the treacherous tides, dive into the deep fur pearls, find a true love. There were hidden prophecies in the tome. It makes sense now. Despite the fact that I've conversed with the tome of the sea god many times, I could only decipher fragments and incomplete phrases. Yet, what's more shocking is the meaning contained in these words. I struggle to grasp the most crucial line. To find a true love, that means... The sea god appears more composed as he raises his hand to brush away the text and heal the wound on my hand.
You already know the answer, my beloved bride.
I'm gonna crash out! You knew you needed me to restore your power. That's why you gave me those gifts.
You're more clever than the humans I'm familiar with.
Now that I understand his intentions, I feel oddly relieved. According to the tome, you'll regain your power and stop the sea from swallowing Ramiro if we fall in love.
As things stand, this is your only option.
But falling in love doesn't happen instantly. All the while, the threat of the land sinking below the waves looms over us. Is she Delulu? Absolutely. We're gonna kiss him. Mustering up some courage, I wrap my hands around his neck and kiss him without any hesitation. A god's lips are warm. Before he can recover from his surprise, I quickly pull away. Well, has your power been restored even just partly? He grabs my arm, pulls me close, and then bends down to return my kiss. The intensity is so overwhelming.
A simple kiss is far from what anyone would call love.
It's still better than sitting and waiting for death.
As long as I'm here, death wouldn't dare to visit you. Do you remember how you awakened me?
The Samino staff and the sea rituals hymn? Words are hard. He places the staff in my hand. I'm not sure when or how he got it.
This can temporarily awaken some of my powers, but we need one more thing to stop the storm.
He turns over my hand and he traces letters on my palm. I can't help but open my mouth. Rafayel.
Remember it. That is my name. Recite my name in your heart with the utmost devotion. Then, sing the hymn for me once more.
He suddenly dives into the storm and his legs transform into a brilliant fishtail as he soars above the terrifying waves. The Suno staff emits a light to accompany my song. I sing with all my strength and stare at his figure. He glides along the top of the waves. Lightning from the tip of his tidebreaker trident strikes the heavy storm clouds. Streams of golden light swirl around the sea's surface. The rain stops and wind ceases as subdued tides transform into millions of transparent fish. They stir up sand and gravel as they slowly retreat to the deep sea. At the base of the damaged statue, people kneel in the muddy waters, yet they see the sun rising behind the sea god. He turns around, his gaze passes through the lingering mist and lands on me. He's so pretty. I can't. Hawkern and his henchmen are imprisoned in a water cage that's under a waterfall. They receive my thorough care. I know Rafayel didn't spare Hawkern just to let me have my revenge. For him, Hawkern might have some value. So I tried to ask him about it, but Rafayel wouldn't give me an answer. As the heir to the previous Castellan, I became the new ruler of Ramiro. Unexpectedly, some rumors began to spread throughout the city. The sea god's bride awakened him. Now he carries out her orders without question. If she can command the sea god to calm the storm during the eclipse, then surely she can command him to drown Ramiro. She put 12 venomous sea snakes in the water prison. They drink from the former Castellan's blood every day, and the water below the Morsin waterfall is now a bright red. I pay no attention to their gossip. After all, I have no interest in ruling a city that once abandoned me. What matters is that I must fall in love with Rafayel.
Your Highness, the harbor repairs?
Deal with it yourself.
Your Highness, the city plans to erect several new statues of the sea god.
You don't need to ask for my permission. After shutting out those annoying voices, I searched the temple for any sign of Rafayel. This place has become the sea god's residence. To fall in love with him sooner, I spent most of my time here. The problem is, he's always somewhere else. How am I supposed to fall in love with him? What is this?
You forgot about the scale already?
The scale I held in my hand is transformed into a blue seashell, and now hangs from a delicate silvery white chain. Is this a token of affection?
At the very least, it's not a token of hatred.
The necklace is put around my neck, and the seashell is like a crystalline mark over my heart.
Keep it safe. It's a piece of my heart. It will let me know where you are and what you're doing.
Gonna crash out! He can track my every move, but I have no idea what he's up to. It's not exactly fair. In the center of the temple, several springs converge into a deep, mysterious pool. The waters churn, and the currents with white sea foam are connected to the deep sea. Around the pool stand 12 broken statues, their damaged torsos holding candle holders of solidified whale oil. Words. Excuse you, Jerry. Holding candle holders of solidified whale oil. Their heads are solemnly lowered towards me. He took the time to build a pool. I've learned something, however. He likes to soak in the water. Bored, I pick up a few silver leaves from a nearby box and skip them. They bounce across the water. I don't know if the citizenry is trying to curry favor with Rafayel and me, but people have sent numerous gifts while keeping their distance. Is he not here? There is no response under the water. I'm about to give up when I catch a glimpse of an unusual light flashing below the surface. Curiosity compels me to dive into the water to get a closer look. Hi, Rafa.
It's impolite to enter my bedchamber without greeting me first.
You just got up, gotta go get ready for work. Okay. Well, thank you for dropping in. I appreciate it. Rafayel floats to the surface. His long hair is spreading out along the water surface. I can barely see his tail. It's like a streak of cold yet beautiful, multicolored sunlight you'd see during a sunrise or sunset. I supervised the renovation of this temple when I was 15. If anything, this place should be mine.
You are correct. I shouldn't have stopped you.
He tries to drag me into the water, and the turning currents instantly transform into a ferocious beast. Why is this so fast? I can't keep up. I don't even have it on auto mode. I use his momentum to grab his arm and quickly wrap my arms around his neck before the water can engulf me. It's cold.
Yes, and you could have avoided this.
I was afraid you'd vanish again when I wasn't looking. How are we supposed to learn more about each other and fall in love if you're not here?
Is clinging to me like an octopus part of your plan to fall in love with me?
Yes, absolutely it is. Cuddling can be used to gain affection, but there's also another reason. A cold water droplet slides across the tip of my nose. I sneeze multiple times.
Why are you so delicate?
The water in your bedchamber is too cold. Why is it freezing?
Is there a problem? Only humans have a habit of parboiling themselves.
It's called taking a hot bath. The current carries us to the shore, and Raphael's trail transforms into a pair of legs as he steps onto the stone tiles inlaid with sweet seashells words.
You say you don't want to die, and yet you jump into frigid waters. Your desire to survive is rather wanting.
You say you need to fall in love with me, and yet you're nowhere to be found. Do you actually want to get your powers back?
I never believed an intangible emotion such as love could serve a purpose.
He sets me down as a ball of flame rises from his palm. I flinch and pull away, but he places it in my hand. It's not burning me, and it's warm.
Are you no longer afraid?
I'm sorry, his voice just got me there. He creates several more spheres of fire and uses them to dry my hair and clothes until they're comfortably warm.
I'm only following the tome's revelations because I don't have an alternative. I won't fall in love with you. It doesn't matter how close you get.
Don't worry, I'm just trying to survive. Don't misunderstand and think I'd actually have feelings for you. I play with the ball of fire in my hands and toss it around. The dancing flame casts a softness across Raphael's face that doesn't suit him. He sits beside me on the stone steps and carefully examines the ornate boxes. These gifts are from the citizenry. They want to thank you for saving them from the storm that night.
These aren't gifts. They're displays of submission for the sake of self-preservation. They despise you, and then they coddle you like a babe in swaddling clothes. Faith, devotion, all of it is hypocrisy.
You don't seem to be furious, though.
And you've entertained yourself by skipping those silver leaves. Why should I be angry?
They belong to you. Keep what you like and throw away the gifts you dislike.
I'm not interested in insincere offerings.
Well, I have something that should interest you. We got Raphael's myth. That's what we're reading right now. I'm gonna split it into two parts, though. I'm gonna go until my iPad pops up with the 20% battery warning. I walk into the tome and retrieve the Samiro staff that was hiding behind it. It used to be yours, yes. Now it's yours again.
You are its rightful owner.
He gestures for me to look at the ruby on the staff. There's a strange, distinctive mark on it.
It's your name written in the Lemurian language. It belonged to me, but it seems I gave it to you. So it's yours now.
Aww. I feel like I have to say I don't remember that. I don't remember that.
What a coincidence. I don't remember it happening either. Perchance it was before my long slumber, or it happened in a more distant past. In any case, it's of no significance.
The staff feels heavy. I place it next to the tome of the sea god. Why would you give me a precious staff?
I'm not sure. Maybe it's because I liked you.
Maybe my expression was too incredulous because he starts laughing.
You don't want us to be smitten with each other? If anything, you don't seem all too pleased with the fact that I liked you before.
I just can't imagine you genuinely falling in love with a human. But if we truly had feelings for each other in the past, then falling in love again might not be so difficult. What should I fall in love with, though? If I only admire his appearance, then we'd have an unstable foundation.
Your thoughts are impolite, I presume.
I was thinking about the god I'm supposed to fall in love with. I'm wondering what his character is. For example, I'd like to learn about his likes, his dislikes, his strengths, his flaws.
If you knew those despicable aspects and flaws, would you still fall in love?
Yes. They say that if someone can accept even your most awful aspects, then it's true love. It touches the soul.
In other words, an ignorant, foolish impulse.
For the sake of survival, I'm willing to sacrifice some rationality.
It's not difficult for you to discover what kind of god I am.
He moves closer and lifts the seashells hanging around my neck.
When the next full moon arrives, you will find the answer you seek.
I said seashells, chat. I think it was just seashell. Sorry. What do you mean? Rafayel sinks into the pool, which causes water to be splashed everywhere. He waves at me unhurriedly before vanishing in the blink of an eye. Full moon night. Night fog blankets the wilderness. Grayish-white blades of grass rise past my ankles. Short trees are scattered about, and their gnarled branches stretch in my direction. The necklace's seashell emits a soft glow. It guides me out of the city and into the dense forest at the foot of Mount Onuna? I hope I said that right. What's that sound? I quicken my pace. Exceptionally bright moonlight filters through the trees and illuminates ruins covered in gray-green moss. Rafayel stands in the center of the area. Water flows from his hands to lift broken stones. They're pierced together in midair. I continue to tiptoe and then... Ha!
I heard you breathing earlier. Who do you think you're trying to scare, mortal?
You brought me here in the middle of the night just so I could watch you build a house. I recognize these as the oldest ruins on the island, but no one knows their origins.
Correct. Come closer. You're in the way.
Still uncertain, I move to the side. More stone bricks float upward and assemble themselves into a wall covered with fragmented inscriptions.
His blood surged to form the oceans. His scales transformed into the stars above. His bones became the whales who bore the sun disk, the moon clams that measure time, the coral bridges that lead to the netherworld.
That's the creation myth for how the sea god founded Lemuria. Are these runes connected to the sea god?
This place is part of the Island of Songs.
I furrow my brow. How strange. The name sounds familiar, but I can't remember anything about it. As I'm deep in thought, more stones rise with the flowing water. They connect the broken walls and ruins to gradually form a shrine. The full moon hangs above like a bright pearl set in the center of an accessory. It illuminates fragments of the temple's former glory.
It preserved Lemuria's history, as well as the important chronicles of every sea god. The sea god you want to learn about is here.
These are the stories about the sea god, but they're not the story of Rafayel.
There's no difference. One day, I will become another sea god who's depicted here. The name Rafayel shall be forgotten.
He tilts his head back as if he's using somewhat real again illusionary fragments to search for pieces of his memories. That doesn't sound like a good thing.
Yet you want me to get my powers back, so I can ascend and become a true sea god.
You're not wrong. The flowing water gradually disperses and the shrine crumbles apart once more. It has returned to being ruins. What about you? After you regain your powers, what do you want to do?
I'll start with finding the person who sealed me away at the bottom of the sea.
Do you remember who it was?
I will eventually.
Empathetic, I nod. I know what it feels like to lose your freedom. You were sealed away for so long, you must really hate that person.
They aren't even worthy of my rancor. However, I won't let them go unpunished.
He glances at the moon before walking into the dense forest. I hurriedly catch up to him. There's one thing I still don't understand. You forgot who sealed you away. How do you know that I can break your seal?
You are the sea god's bride. You're the only one I would choose. And you were the only person I could sense when I was sealed away.
Making sure I didn't miss anything. Sorry. Ugh. Ow. Punched my desk. As he says this, a cryptic smile suddenly appears on his face.
It was ironic. I first heard your voice as you slandered me. You said the tome was worthless since it couldn't find the sea god. However, it somehow revealed the location of his bride, so you were captured and forced to suffer. You said I abandoned my bride, played with whatever caught my fancy, and questioned how I could be the sea god. You claimed I was worse than a sea cucumber. Also,
you're making up nonsense. I have never insulted you. I argue while frantically trying to think. However, I have insulted him a few times.
I eventually realized that when you talked to yourself or slandered me, it meant you were in good spirits. And if there were days when you were very quiet, I could also guess what you were going through.
I just call him really sassy. Is that insulting? You really like watching people in secret, huh?
That's an incorrect assumption. I only see
Hi,
you.
Dashi. Thank you for the heart, me. Thank you, thank you. We had wandered to the shore with... Why did it freeze? What's going on? I'm lagging. I'm gonna let that come out of it for a second, chat. I don't know why it's lagging. Hi. Wait, am I losing internet? Is that what's going on? Are we good? It looks stormy. Give me just a few seconds, chat. I'll be right back. I'm gonna make sure Diamond's not outside. I love his hair too. I'm so excited. I found Noodle.
Is she sitting somewhere?
In the corner. Can we just
Yeah,
walk
she
by?
is.
Oh my god.
Oh, we're coming back.
Oh no. I carried this all the way over here.
Well, at least
I'm
the
so
cart's
proud
here.
of you.
Wait. I didn't do that. Well, I committed a murder. I'm sorry.
Murder was the case.
Whoa.
Alright, I'm back. Sorry. Looks like it wants to rain. I didn't want Diamond to be out there in it. Okay. We had wandered to the shore without realizing it. Moonlight cast a shimmering glow across the sea surface. Blurry, distant stars sparkle where the ocean meets the sky.
What is it?
Oh, that's him. It's to stop you from jumping into the water and vanishing again.
Holding my hand won't be enough.
If you keep disappearing, it'll be hard for me to fall in love with you. You should at least tell me what you're doing and where you're going.
Would you like to accompany me this time?
He raises his hand and the moonlight condenses into a strand of silver thread at his fingertips. Then it descends onto the sea's surface. Chat wants me to give you love. She's in here, chat. I don't know how well you can see her, but she's in here. Can just see her tail. Why don't you lay down? Huh? Yeah, sure, good girl. Good girl. Okay. I'm reading. You lay down, I'll read. Lay down. Good girl. Okay. Every stream immediately becomes visible in the water's reflection. They follow the moonlight coil around his cupped hand and dance.
The perfect opportunity is right in front of you.
He releases the strand of moonlight and makes a gesture with his hands that resembles a flying bird. He whistles and the sound lingers. Then an enormous white skeleton rises from the sea. It reminds me of a fish with large fins. The creature swiftly cuts through the sea mist and appears before me. Diamond, lay down.
Are you scared?
Don't underestimate me. But as soon as I step forward, I find myself at a loss. I'm unsure how to approach the skeletal creature. I feel a sense of weightlessness as Rafayel places me directly on the creature's back. His legs then transform into a tail, and he swims into the ocean.
Hold on tight. Should you fall, I won't save you again.
He is so beautiful, and I can't. Rafayel swims through the inky black water. Silvery light breaks into pearls that flow along his tail. Close behind is the skeletal creature that's carrying me. Is this your friend, Rafayel?
Despite being nothing but bones, it tried to eat me when we first met. Is that what friends do?
I'd say it's more of a hungry fiend. As if it understood what I said, it suddenly whips its tail into an attempt to throw me off. I quickly grab onto what was once its dorsal fin.
The Fantasia shark is very temperamental. I advise you not to provoke it. If you throw caution to the wind, it'll reduce you to a pile of bones with just a few bites. Its species died along with Lemuria. I have no idea where this one came from.
Could it actually be your friend from before you went to sleep, I mean? The Fantasia shark raises its head and makes an almost inaudible sound. Then it quietly swims closer to Rafayel.
Maybe. I caught glimpses of its shadow in Whalefall City.
According to legends, it's the most magnificent and beautiful place in all of Lemuria. Sorrow and suffering doesn't exist there.
Humans and their myths have never shied away from exaggeration. I don't remember what Whalefall City looked like. Only when the sea god's power is restored can all slumbering Lemurians be awakened. And then, Whalefall City shall return to this world.
That's good. You have a homeland worth longing for.
You're implying that yours isn't.
It abandoned me first. Not wanting to continue this conversation, I pretend to admire the Fantasia shark. After a moment, it appears in my mind. Rafayel, come here. I want to give you a gift. But just so you're aware, I haven't done this in a long time. It might not work.
I should keep my expectations low then?
Despite saying that, he raises his hand and uses the rising waves to sit down beside me. I take a deep breath, concentrate on the palm of my hand, and then gently place it on the Fantasia shark's head. In the darkness, a faint power slowly awakens. It cautiously moves towards me bit by bit. I relax my breathing and try to become part of that power. I capture every subtle change. I can sense it. A gentle radiance spreads out from the Fantasia shark. Layers of blue tint and seawater faintly reveal the silhouette of a city. While indistinct, its beautiful and magnificent form is still visible. I thought this Fantasia shark missed Whalefall City too, so I tried to resonate with it. Did that bring back any memories? This poor boy! Stop! I want to give him a hug. Rafayel doesn't say a word until the water turns black once more. I'm forced to break this strange silence. I didn't expect it to work. I haven't resonated in a long time. I only use it to help others find lost crabs or turtles.
Thank you.
What?
You helped me see Whalefall City. I'm expressing my gratitude.
You're welcome. The moon has disappeared as sea fog descends with heavy clouds. They engulf our surroundings. As the fog grows thicker, my doubts continue to take root in the depths of my heart. You still haven't told me where we're going, Rafayel.
We'll arrive at our destination once the fog clears.
But... am I out of focus? I feel like I am. Just as I'm about to press for more details, I suddenly feel like my mind is being enshrouded by fog. My consciousness becomes heavy. Something's wrong with this fog.
The fog is as it should be. All you need to do is close your eyes and get some rest while you can.
Why did I fall asleep?
Did you get enough rest?
How long was I asleep? Wait, where am I? The surrounding seawater surges violently. It rushes with the force of 1,000 avalanches towards a massive oceanic abyss. It's like a crack between heaven and earth. It seems as if the entire ocean is about to collapse. The thunderous roar is so deafening it makes my ears hurt, and a sense of foreboding washes over me. Rafayel, please don't tell me we're going there.
I thought you were eager to help me get my powers back. This is what the Tome of the Sea God means by combat the treacherous tides.
Now I understand what he meant when he said opportunity. Is it too late for me to change my mind?
What do you think?
I sigh. I resign myself to my fate as I hold him tightly, close my eyes, and allow him to take me to the bottomless oceanic abyss. As my dizziness subsides, I can still hear the massive waves crashing above us. Everything around me is still enshrouded in darkness. My survival instincts make me grip Rafayel's shoulders tightly. Why can I not words? Is it over?
It's only the beginning.
He holds me close as we continue swimming towards greater depths. After what feels like an eternity, our feet finally touch a flat seabed. Dark blue flames ignite one after another in the distance. They move in our direction and reveal an ancient, magnificent plaza. In the center stands a stone gate with multiple heavy chains. Each one extends to a tall statue that anchors it in place. The Lemurians have a lot of ruins.
This is the sea god's tomb. Each stone statue below represents a sea god who has perished.
I hope you didn't bring me here just so we could be buried together.
Don't worry. That day is still tens of thousands of years away.
He shoots lightning from his fingertip and hits one of the guardian statues.
Stop pretending. I know you can hear me.
Young sea god, I've already told you. The bond's mark that is etched into your soul is never complete. You cannot enter the sea god's tomb, let alone reforge the Tidebreaker trident.
I've already brought the owner of that mark.
Even when I'm pushed forward, I'm still trying to figure out what this bond mark is.
If we're together, wouldn't that make it complete?
You are correct.
Pretend. Ah, it's a bot. Do I have a mod that can go over to kick? Pretty please, chat. I got excited, thinking it was a real person. The statue slowly turns towards me.
To awaken the sea god, you must traverse the 33 levels of the sea god's tomb to reach its depths, and offer the Tidebreaker trident on the altar. Once the trial is complete, you can reclaim the sea god's power.
Combining Rafayel's words with the statues, I realize what's happening. There are statues representing past sea gods in each level of the tomb. Does that mean we need to defeat all of them? Then you'll be able to complete the trial and regain your powers?
Are you scared?
A little. A little. Even if they're just statues, they're still sea gods. I'm afraid I won't even make it past the first level.
No one said you'd be going in alone. There's nothing to be afraid of. Since I'm here, leave everything to me. You just have to do one thing.
Which is?
Don't die.
Make that sound so easy, Rafa. The Tidebreaker trident materializes in Rafayel's hand as he walks to the stone gate. I take a deep breath and summon a silver sword.
Let's begin.
The stone statues slowly pull away at the heavy chains. Layer upon layer of seals are released one after another, and the seabed begins to shake violently.
The key to passing this trial isn't to defeat the statues.
He suddenly pulls me close, lowers his voice, and an enigmatic mirth flickers in the depths of his gaze.
It's related to reaching the altar.
As soon as the gap appears in the stone gate, Rafayel swings his trident and creates a maelstrom. It sweeps us up and propels us through the entrance. Lightning flashes and sparks by as he shoots in the first level like arrow released from a bow. Meanwhile, the sea god statue is slowly emerging from an enormous stone niche.
Young sea god.
Lightning strikes and catches the statue off guard. It's knocked back in the stone niche. Rafayel doesn't linger. He rides the current into the second level, unleashes another lightning bolt without any hesitation. Chaos surrounds us and an unprecedented scorching heat radiates from Raphael's body, yet his gaze remains exceptionally sharp and composed. The stone statues are either knocked back before they can fully emerge, or slow in their hopeless pursuit of us. Duck! I swing my sword and cut through several coral arrows flying towards us, only to feel the arm... I missed it. Like blazing flame, Rafayel turns...
Done.
Okay. With lightning speed, he unleashes the Tidebreaker Trident, and a radiant brilliance akin to daylight fills the sea god's tomb.
What is the meaning of this? Why is the latest incarnation of the sea god so disrespectful?
Well done. A young god should have a young god's vitality.
This won't do. We need to add a new rule. Shortcuts are not allowed. Otherwise, my ancient stones will crumble to pieces.
I need a drink of my Dr. Pepper. You're not going outside, Diamond. It's gonna storm. No.
How is it over already? I finally got a chance to stretch my muscles, but I haven't even made my grand entrance yet.
The surrounding claymore fades. Hazy threads of light gradually wrap themselves, blah 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 blah.
Ye who desires
Never mind.
to ascend to true godhood, the deep sea shall inscribe your name. I shall cleanse thy body, temper thy weapons, and restore thy lost memories.
Accompanied by mysterious chanting, a warm power surrounds me. Something reminiscent of flowing sand surges before my eyes, and a familiar voice resounds in my ears.
In Lemuria, a bond best represents an everlasting vow and oath. When you offer the sincerest form of worship from the depths of your soul, my soul will be branded with your mark. I will be unable to defy you. And once a bond is formed, it shall never disappear. No matter where you are, or what form you take, I will always be able to find you and recognize you.
It's Raphael's voice. Unconsciously, I reach out my hand and touch a face that's familiar, yet somehow not. His eyes still shine with the beauty of a dawn's glow. However, his smile is more carefree and unrestrained, and as bright as the clearest seawater. I'm gonna crash out, sorry. But in the next moment, the warmth in his eyes gradually fades as his body sinks back into the black seawater. Black seawater. Only the mark below his collarbone faintly glows. The Lemurian covenant I promised you.
Hmm? What did you promise?
I offer you my heart. I'm willing to give you my heart. My sincerest form of worship. I'm willing to have your very being etched, engraved onto my soul. In a trance-like state, I hear myself say unfamiliar vows, yet every word seems to come from the depths of my heart.
I gave you my heart.
He takes my hand and places it against the glowing mark. Everything is clear to me. Before you fell into a deep slumber, we had formed a Lemurian covenant. That's why I'm the bride of the sea god. Those threads of light gradually melt away. The seawater is cold again, and the atmosphere is somewhat awkward.
A Lemurian covenant can only be forged when both parties are willing. So, you voluntarily became my bride. It had nothing to do with the Tome of the Sea God. Don't forget to apologize to it after we get back.
I realize he's teasing me about the time I called the tome worthless. My ears burn with embarrassment as I clear my throat. You must have recognized our bond a long time ago. You just didn't tell me.
It only represents the past, and now it means nothing to us.
The tempered tidebreaker trident returns to his hand. Rafayel turns around, his tail emanating? Emanating. That's the word, chat. A more vivid and sharp radiance. Within his body, a portion of the sea god's power has been awakened. You don't want to expose your weakness. Oh, I know. Our bond means I can command you. You don't want to expose this weakness, do you? In that case, I should carefully consider the best way to utilize it. He ignores my provocation and grabs my arm to swim upward, but then he stops.
You're hurt.
I follow his gaze to look at my back, but I don't see anything and I don't feel any pain. It's just a minor wound.
It's not. You need to return to Romero immediately.
Rafayel brings me back to the surface and the Fantasia shark carries us to Romero. I'm gonna check the radar really quick, chat. It's getting dark. Hasn't jumped to a moderate risk until 7 and it's 4 now. I can be here for a little bit longer, probably.
Loosen your clothes. I need to treat your wound immediately.
Is it that bad? It doesn't hurt. Rafayel holds my shoulder with one hand and places his other hand on the back of my neck. Warm power emanates from his palms. It hurts! A pain from deep within my bones erupts and heads straight for my heart. It's so intense that I almost fall to my knees into the sea. Why did dyslexia? Turning my head, I finally see the wound. It's not a bloody gash. It resembles a strange floral pattern.
It's not working.
Stop, you're making the pain worse. Yet long after Rafayel stops, the pain doesn't subside. I break into a cold sweat and the drops reach my eyes. They trigger another kind of sharp pain.
Hang in there. Once the fog clears, you'll feel better.
Rafayel, I need a favor. I groggily lift my eyelids as I rest on his lap. There are rumors. They say a sea god's song can enchant people's hearts and make them lose themselves in illusions. Could you possibly...
Don't believe baseless rumors anymore.
Can't you try? I'll use our bond and... I'm hoping that it's picking it up. Is that better? You guys couldn't hear him singing earlier, and I was like, wait a minute. It's unfamiliar yet captivating as it guides me. I descend into a magnificent dream. I try to memorize every note as it flows. I don't acknowledge the pain anymore. Guided by the rhythmic sound of the waves in this melody, I slowly close my eyes once again. Chapter 5. After returning to Ramiro, Rafayel immediately confines me to the temple. He requests that I don't go outside until my wound is fully healed. Although I don't understand why, he's being excessively cautious. He stays in Ramiro. It's a pleasant surprise. However, the wound on my back often makes me disoriented. Sometimes I can hear faint crackling sounds deep within my spine. It's as if fish are nibbling on coral. Maybe a more apt description would be how it felt similar to seawater washing over new scales. At other times, I'm fully conscious yet somehow unable to open my eyes. However, there is one thing I remember clearly. Whenever I curl up into a ball because of the searing pain, the sound of the flute drifts into my ears and numbs my suffering. And soon after, I drift back into a soft, peaceful sleep. While we were away from Ramiro, something rather significant happened. Hawkern, the former Castellan, had escaped from the water prison. You're fine. You're fine.
We've already dispatched a group to search the entire city. As soon as they find something, I'll make a report.
Ouch. Pia, I think I said her name right? The lady-in-waiting immediately falls silent outside the curtain. I hold back a gasp and turn to glance at Rafayel. He's applying medicine to my body. Since he heard about Hawkern's escape, he has remained unfazed. There's not even a trace of anger or displeasure on his face. I'll deal with this myself. Call back the people you've sent out. There's no need to search anymore.
Yes, Your Highness.
When I wave my hand, Paya quickly retreats as if she'd just been pardoned from execution. You let him escape.
Beasts of the deep only bare their real fangs when facing death. Humans are no exception. Making him believe he still has a glimmer of hope will force him to reveal his plans.
Aren't you afraid he might have a secret weapon?
You should be prioritizing your health.
He applies a slight pressure with his hand. I subconsciously try to pull away from the pain, but he grabs my shoulder and presses me back onto the bed.
This ointment is made from gold feather algae. It's the best medicine for wounds in Lemuria. Stay still if you want to be hale and hearty again.
Then be gentler.
I am being gentle. Are human bodies so fragile that they can't withstand a tiny amount of pressure?
Yet he still lightens his touch and applies the medicine, his cool fingers gliding down along my spine.
I could call for that lady in waiting and have her take care of you instead.
No, you're doing well. I like it when you look after me. Hi, Game Boy. His face betrays nothing. However, in the dim lighting, I notice the tiny scales rising suddenly on his neck. I see. He likes being praised. I'm gonna see myself out. I'm gonna... Oh, no! Oh, I hit it with my nose. Fuck. That was funny. That night I develop a fever again. It often happens during these past few days. Rafayel says this means my wound is healing, but feeling dizzy with a parched throat is a miserable experience. Rafayel, could you lend me your tail to cool down again?
No. We agreed that last night would be the last time.
Through the translucent curtains, I can see him lazily soaking in the pool, his tail creating ripples across the water surface. It's not like I'll do anything. I only want to lean against it for a bit.
Whose fever became so severe the last time that she thought she was eating fish?
Guilty, I close my mouth. The heat inside my body is still making me miserable. Pretend to be weak. Rafayel, are you still there? I think my ears are ringing. I can't hear your voice anymore.
Truly? That's not good.
With a splash, Rafayel seemingly moves closer. I quickly close my eyes. After a moment, I hear the faint sound of flames burning metal.
If your ears are ringing, then the situation is grave. We'll have to make a cut along each ear to let some blood out.
I quickly sit up and grab the small knife that Rafayel is holding over the candle's flame.
You're done with your jest? It's not a good habit to give up halfway.
But in the end, he gives in. His tail is cool to the touch as I rest my head on it, and I meet his lowered gaze. How much longer do I have to wait for my wound to heal?
You'll make a full recovery soon.
The mirror beside me reflects a flash of red, and I see the floral pattern. It's slowly fading, but it is left behind jagged, frightening marks. The voices I heard have become different. At first, sounds I usually ignore suddenly become louder. Bubbles popping, fingers brushing against surfaces, heartbeats rising and falling. Then the sound of churning seawater becomes increasingly clear in my ears. Even though the temple is far away from the beach, I can still hear the movements of the tide. Why are you so concerned about this injury?
It will make you more like a Lemurian. Your senses become heightened, so you'll be able to hear the call of the most distant oceans and see extraordinarily vibrant colors.
He absent-mindedly runs his fingers through my hair.
But you are a human. You'll become an outcast on land. Then you'll be unable to hear any sounds unless they're in the ocean. You won't see any colors unless they belong to the sea. Your legs will become too weak to walk on land, and you'll suffer. Seawater will flood your mouth and nose and rise in your throat. In the end, you'll drown on dry land. It doesn't look like you're afraid.
Because you'll keep me alive. You will, yes? He laughs softly. He feels my forehead, and then he picks up a cup of water and helps me drink it. We still going.
If you try to make excuses again tomorrow, there's no guarantee.
As I slowly recover, Ramiro's short summer arrives. The scent of flowers, which had been absent, permeates the wind. At night, I climb onto the roof of the temple and look at the port. The people are setting up tall platforms of bonfires. 4 bonfires. Perhaps they're preparing for the Sea Gracious festival once again, centuries later, to express their reverence for the sea god. It was once Ramiro's grandest festival. People would thank the sea god and pray for his blessings and protection. I already know that Rafayel has no interest in a frivolous festival.
You're still injured.
I know, so I didn't leave the temple. I pat the spot beside me and invite him to sit down. Then I return my attention to the conch shell in my hand.
It sounds terrible.
He twirls a flute in his hand and unceremoniously taps the top of my head with it.
That's not how you play it. If the conch shell could express emotion, it would have already died of embarrassment.
Then teach me how to play it properly. I like that song.
Why?
It might be because whenever I hear you play it, all my pain disappears. Just as no one dares to approach the temple without a good reason, no one dares to go near the tower that once imprisoned me. I thought escaping from that tower would make me feel better, but I guess not.
Your cage isn't in that tower. You can't leave the temple or the tower. You're afraid of losing the freedom to go where you please. Once your wound heals, nothing will be able to restrain you.
The conch shell is taken from my hand and Rafayel brings it to his lips. He's testing it out.
Listen carefully if you want to learn.
The melodious words tune rises and mingles with the evening breeze and moonlight before floating away. I lean against Rafayel's shoulder and let the vibrations from his chest seep into my bones as he plays something in the blah 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 blah.
This island, this entire region, shouldn't be unconquerable obstacles in your search for freedom. No matter how many identities Ramiro's people bestow upon you, you aren't obligated to fulfill them. You need to be willing to accept those roles.
One of those identities is the bride of the sea god. What if I don't want to be her?
Then don't be.
But what if I do? But I feel a bit reluctant to let go. I let out a long sigh and gaze at the lights that extend from around the temple to distant places. I used to love Ramiro. I wanted to protect it forever and save it from the prophecy.
Unfortunately, it abandoned you.
I'm just a tool to the citizens. They believe I will save their lives.
Do you want all these people to disappear?
If I said I wanted that, would you carry out my wish?
If it would make you fall in love with me.
I tried to imagine their deaths, but I doubt it would make me happy.
What would make you happy then?
When I don't respond, he hands me a long scroll.
Those ladies in waiting delivered it.
I look down and notice several ladies in waiting at the steps of the temple. They meet my gaze and bow nervously. Diamond, what you doing? Yeah? I suppose they want me to preside over their rituals for the first day of the Sea God Scratches Festival.
I see. They're representing Ramiro in an attempt to win your favor. When the time comes, you'll have to confront many of the people who abandoned you.
With apparent playfulness in his eyes, he brushes aside a strand of my hair that the wind has blown across my face.
How will you respond?
What would you do?
If it were me...
His fingertip moves down to rest over my trembling heart.
I'd ask this heart about what could make it happy.
Alright, chat. We've read the first 5 chapters. I'm gonna stop there for today because I guarantee my iPad is probably about to die. Diamond, you are not going outside. It is going to storm. No. And I'm ready to play more DVD. Oh my god, wait, I already got him. Wait, I got the 20 pulls. I got him. Can we get the other card? Can we get it? 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 What do we think, chat? What do we think? We need Misty Lament. That's what we need. And then we have Raphael's companion. I am asking the Gacha gods to bless me with Lemurian Raphael. Please. We got a 4-star Rafa. Come on, gotcha gods, give me the other card. I don't think we got him. Time to cry. Can we get him in 2 pulls? Come on! Nope. I don't think we're getting his companion this year, chat. That's okay, though. Alright, YouTube. I'll have probably the second half up later this week. Yeah, I just got the 20 pulls, Harpy. I just got them. I don't know how long I'm gonna get to play for, chat. It's getting really dark, like it's gonna storm. Alright. But if you guys are watching on YouTube, I'm still gonna be live on Twitch and Kick. I'm gonna end the YouTube stream, though. I literally only go live on YouTube to do Loveanddeepspace things, so you're welcome to come hang out there. I think they will be linked underneath this video, hopefully.
I wonder, when will you start blurting things out again?
Excuse me, I just did. I was telling people to come watch on Twitch and Kick, Rafa. Okay. Bye, YouTube. Everybody say bye, YouTube. Chat. 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 Be nice to the YouTube people. Say bye-bye. That TikTok, Twitch, Kick, they can see you. That chat that's on the side, that's everybody. That's everybody. That's every platform I'm live on right now.
Wait. Don't move. I want to see if your eyes will reflect your reflection in my eyes.
Thank you. Thank you, Samuel.